Welcome to Top Tier Wrestling, your ultimate destination for all things going on in the world of professional wrestling. Whether you're a hardcore wrestling fanatic or just a casual viewer, we've got you covered with the latest news, in depth show reviews, and our unfiltered opinions. Get ready to step into the ring with us and stay on top of the wrestling world. This is Top Tier Wrestling. Welcome, one and all, to the Top Tier Wrestling Podcast. My name is Timeless Donnie Storm, joined as always by my partner, freshly squeezed, Josh Cassidy. Today, we cover AEW's Dynamite for February 4th, and to start the mood, or to set the mood, start the mood already, I would like to get us started with my impersonation of a suburban stay at home mom who doesn't watch wrestling and only knows what she does from overhearing her kids talk about wrestlers. All right? Let me just
Yeah, all right.
get in the mood here. All right, here we go. Adjust my glasses, put them on the tip of my nose. Okay. So, in the words of everyone's favorite LGBTQ wrestler, Trick Williams, let's whip that tricky and let's talk about it.
Whip that tricky.
Yeah. All right.
Is he about to go for the championship?
Gotta shake. You have to shake when you do that. You gotta shake yourself.
You have to. You have to. Well, let's set the mom who doesn't watch wrestling straight. Bring her up to speed on what's happening in AEW Dynamite.
Okay. It's another group of fellas. All right. All right.
Where she definitely won't have to worry about somebody whooping that tricky.
Whooping that tricky. But seriously, yes, we are covering AEW's Dynamite.
Dynamite.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that was right. What did I say? How did I say Dynamite? Yeah, that's wrong. What 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 Josh said was correct. That was the correct way to say it.
Dynamite.
Dynamite. There you go.
Just like people who say Andrade are just wrong. It's Andrade. Get it right.
Yeah, who's out there saying Andrade? Come on, guys, get with the times. Come on. Can we? Can we do better? I feel like we can.
So this episode of Dynamite was awesome, and it's brought to us out of Las Vegas.
You know what that means? That means Triple H flew to Las Vegas that night just to put a WWE flag in front of the stadium.
Specifically.
uh,
Yeah, he flew there to try and spy on the show, but realized it was sold out, unlike Saudi Arabia.
oh, that's so that's so petty.
Thank you. I do what I can.
Oh
No,
my
but
god, speaking of petty, that happens a little bit in this episode. We'll get to that. There's a little bit of pettiness that happens that I absolutely love.
indeed. But you got to figure Las Vegas has some special meaning for AEW, being that most of their PLEs or pay per views actually are themed over gambling tables. Something
Yeah.
that even WWE couldn't help but also borrow. Um,
Yep.
but moving on, now that the barbs are out and have been flung, we start the night with a couple of quick promos. Kenny Omega talks to us about how this week he's got to go through Andrade and he hasn't forgotten the cowardly attack that happened months ago. He'll see Andrade in the ring tonight. Brody King in the main event says he's going to hurt MJF real bad. MJF opened the show telling all of us, what is he supposed to be afraid of Brody King? Because he's from New York. He sees people like King all the time. He calls them homeless. I think people perceive that he's afraid of Brody King because anytime Brody King flinches a little too hard, MJF is halfway into another time zone.
Yeah.
Um, the Babes of Wrath also uh, let us know that they're ready to face Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford for an eliminator match this evening. Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne have decided to adopt the tag name of Megabad, which I think says everything you need to know. um, and then when Ford and Bayne had their turn, they they went on to say that Megan Bayne is a woman who leaves a trail of dead bodies, and Ford was a woman who was sidelined for months and saw women beneath her get a shot. I don't believe that second part. I am waiting for Ford to show me that anyone is quote unquote beneath her.
Man, she used to wrestle. Like I remember back in the day she used to wrestle. I swear, guys. But now all she does is poke poke Megan's tits.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's right. She did do that during the promo.
Like Jesus, we know she's got tits. You don't have to point at them.
Like she poked him.
Yeah.
Um, but that leads us to the first match of the evening, as Dynamite is wont to do. They had all of their promo segment done in like 2.5 minutes, and we're immediately into a trios match with the Don Callis family, represented by Konosuke Takeshita, El Clone, and Kurt Angle from Wish, versus the Death Riders, which in this configuration is John Moxley, the Bastard
Yay.
Pack, and Danny
Yay.
Garcia.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. And before we get into that, or rather getting into that, what are your thoughts on this match?
Well. I guys, I'm trying. I'm trying with Daniel Garcia. I'm trying. But for me, there's just not much to try with. Like there's not I don't know, man. He's just I don't think he's gonna be the guy for me. Pac and John Moxley, even though I give John Moxley a hard time, like the dude can go in the ring, and the only time I was giving him a hard time was when he wasn't going, when he was just kind of I felt like phoning it in. And I know who the fuck am I to say somebody's phoning it in or not, but you know what I mean. To me, like I've seen him in ridiculous matches, and we all know that sometimes we can watch one of our favorites and go, "Man, he must have had an off night." We all know, and I feel like John Moxley had several very off nights for a minute. Uh, but I feel like he's getting back on track. The Alpha Kanose Takeshita is remarkable. El Clone has quickly become one of my favorites. And even though I give the Walking Weapon Josh Alexander all kinds of shit, Kurt Angle from Wish, he goes hard on the paint. Like he can go in the ring. Every time I see him in a match, he can go hard on the paint. So this little combination ended up being a pretty fun opener for Dynamite. Um, Moxley and Takeshita, I can watch that uh all over again. You guys can run that back if you want to do that 2 or 3 or 6 more times. I'm okay with that. Um, El Clone versus anybody. Yo, I'll watch that. You can run that back whenever you want. Um, And yeah, this was just a really solid. It's solid. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. This was a pretty solid opener for Dynamite. Everybody looked good. But a special shout out to Takeshita and Moxley, because those two together in the ring, I like that. I like that chemistry.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I felt like this was a solid match as well, but I feel like the Don Callis family showed up with like their varsity league, and the Death Riders showed up with at least one member of the junior varsity on their team.
Yeah.
and that sort of determined the match outcome.
Yeah, yeah. Because Daniel
Pretty much,
Daniel Garcia is not an answer to Josh Alexander. Absolutely not.
he's not an answer to anybody on the team that was presented by the Don Callis family.
Yeah,
Like, I feel like if the Death Riders actually wanted to win this, it would have been Moxley, Pack, and Castagnoli. But they're trying to do something with Daniel Garcia. I just
yeah,
think that that's an uphill battle. Garcia, I don't get the draw. I don't get the appeal. I don't see it.
yeah. I
Um,
man, like there's just gonna be some dudes that just ain't gonna be your guy. Um, and I just don't see it with him. Like I used to say stuff like that about oh my god, what's his name? Oh no,
hell,
Danielson.
I would have been here for it if it had been Moxley, Pack, and Wheeler Yuta, even, because I
Well,
feel like
yeah, yeah,
Yuta
yeah.
is growing on people.
Yeah,
Um,
but I also feel like Yuta can go in the ring. I think Yuta
he can.
is a better wrestler than Daniel Garcia. So I think he would have been a bit more solid of a competitor uh against Josh Alexander. Now I think like size wise, Josh Alexander will end up bodying Wheeler. I mean a
Yeah.
lot. It'd be a lot of bodying, and ultimately they would not win the match. So I think the outcome would have been the same, right? But Daniel Garcia is just I don't know.
Yeah.
Like he
I,
feels to me the way I feel about Sami Uso or Sami Zayn.
I would even say less so because Sami Zayn can actually go in the ring.
He can. He
don't
can.
I don't feel like what Daniel Garcia, maybe he can go, but he chooses to use like dumb moves. Like, I don't like his move set. I'm not impressed by his in-ring work. He doesn't have anything remarkable in his look. Like, he's in there with guys that are all more jacked than him by a mile. He looks like he just stepped out of 7-Eleven and was the local talent for the night. Um like he like on what criteria that you gauge whether someone is a worthwhile, is it charisma? Because he has none of that either.
Not the
So, like,
7-Eleven.
I
Shots
don't
fired.
see I mean it when I say I just don't see the draw. The dude doesn't kill it on the mic. He doesn't go in the ring like in any
Yeah.
way that I find significantly entertaining to watch. And I mean another guy who is leaner, but I still think more defined would be Darby Allen. So it's not just that he's a small guy. Same with Jack Perry. Jack Perry is a slider built guy and he does just fine.
Yeah, they go in the
So
ring, man.
Daniel Garcia, between what he does in ring, his like lack of charisma outside the ring, and it's not like he's jacked or anything. So there's no visual like, oh, here's some visual appeal, that'll make me give my willing suspension of belief that this dude's going to do anything but job for the night. He is a vortex of interest. I hope Daniel Garcia goes to Ring of Honor, honestly, and is no longer. I mean, he's one of those guys that I think is like a not good part of what we see on AEW. Honestly, I don't know what they see in him or what they hope for him, but he has not risen to the occasion in like the 4 years out of the six that we've been watching AEW.
Yeah. I I was about to say that I used to say the same thing about Brian Danielson or Daniel Bryan or whatever his name was in AEW. But then he grew on me because there was more than his in-ring work, which it may not have been my favorite, but it wasn't sloppy. It wasn't, you know what I mean? Like it was still like he was still a
Yeah,
good competitor. He could still go in the ring and he had charisma. So there was more to him than just what he did in the ring. His behavior outside of the ring, his promos, his general behavior that was way more appealing. So overall, he ended up winning me over. When it comes to Daniel Garcia, there's just I don't know. I feel like he's a cliche of a wrestler. I feel like he I don't know. He feel in a profession that is full of fake people, fake characters like, and shit like that. He is so unrealistic. He's so fake. He's so distant from the character that he plays that I don't know what the character is. Like,
no, like the
is it
little
just
bit
a
of
guy from New York? Is it just a
yeah,
guy from the
it
Jersey Shore? Like
Yeah, he is just a guy from the Jersey Shore, but boring. And to be perfectly honest, the same thing could be said of Eddie Kingston. The difference being is that Eddie Kingston can destroy it when he's given the mic.
Yeah.
Daniel Garcia does not have that capability, so he's just like an extra from Jersey Shore. Like he is
And
so stereotypically that dude.
the reason that I say I don't think that's ever going to change, because not the reason I say that is, well, one, the examples that I gave between him and Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, like his overall character and outside of the ring, like his work there won me over. He won me over. Aside
Yeah.
from that, you are in AEW, which means that if you like, for me, I feel like if you can't make it in AEW, if you can't give us in-ring work that blows our mind, it's on you. It's because you can't. Like, am I wrong for saying that? Like, I
No.
feel like if you aren't doing it there, where you have the freedom, like you have the creative control over most of what's happening with your character. Your in-ring work is all you, and those are the moves you picked.
Yeah, yeah, and we see that all the time. Like we've watched it metamorphosize with Jack Perry. Jack Perry has started trying to incorporate lots of different stuff to get a pop from the crowd. So I don't think it's like, as far as my understanding, WWE tells you down to whether or not you can get a haircut. They control literally everything. AEW gives you far more creative freedom with like your character idea, the direction you would like to go with it, how you present it. And I don't get that they're dictating to these guys which moves to use. They might, like, the producer might be like, and here you would do your spot, and here you would do your spot. But you get to seemingly decide what that spot is based on what you like. Because we've watched other wrestlers evolve their move set in real time.
Yeah,
Um, and Danny Garcia's just got like, there's, I guess what I'm saying is just nothing to latch onto, and I feel like he's a cat that is being given opportunity after opportunity and spot time that I don't see why he deserves,
yeah,
because I don't see it. I don't see that he's a particularly amazing in-ring worker. He's absolutely garbage on the microphone, and he doesn't have anything that stands out about his look. The most interesting thing he ever did was a humpy dance, and he's gotten rid of that. So now he's back to just being boring. Um, so I don't get it. Whatever it is, it's not working for me. I feel like he's just a void of like insert a anybody, literally anybody else who would be more interesting than this guy here.
yeah,
Um, so I don't know why AEW is so up on the guy, but I have yet to see it, is the point I'm trying to make. I don't I can't find anything to latch onto. Like his moveset's not amazing. He, again, I mean, just to repeat myself, zero charisma. He doesn't have a look. Nothing stands out. So
yeah,
he's just completely boring, and that is the biggest crime you can commit. Like people can hate the shit out of MJF, but at least they passionately hate the shit out of MJF. Like they're not bored.
yeah. They aren't apathetic.
Yeah, exactly. And apathy is the worst thing you can be if you're a professional wrestler. If that's what you're generating, then it's not long before you're shown the door.
Yeah.
Um,
It's not long before that turns into like go away heat.
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, because eventually people are going to be irritated because they're sick of seeing this boring ass shit. Um, but otherwise, I would suggest this was a solid match. I think this is, kind of still the early shots of a war that's brewing between the Death Riders and the Don Callis family. But if the Death Riders are going to have a chance here, they
It
don't have
needs
the
more
numbers game.
members. Yeah, yes.
But the numbers they do bring are going to have to be better than, I mean, because the long and the short of it, eventually we end up with Konosuke Takeshita in the ring, and Moxley, because he's getting bodied, tags in Daniel Garcia, and then from there it does exactly what you think it would do. Daniel Garcia has exactly zero chance against the Alpha Takeshita and loses, and it costs the Death Riders the match. So, you know that because there's not really any other way you could have booked that unless Daniel Garcia went out of the ring and like hits the Alpha Konosuke Takeshita with every chair in the arena. He's not beating Takeshita straight. Like it's just not going to happen. Takeshita is booked and billed too much stronger than him.
Yeah.
So uh, I don't feel like the Death Riders showed up with a crew that really was trying to win this match because they were outclassed from go by the talent that showed up here. Takeshita, El Clone, and the Walking Weapon are not an even match for Moxley, Pack, and Daniel Garcia. It would have been
I
a better match or a more even match if Claudio had gotten into the ring in Garcia's place.
I can see that conversation backstage when the Death Riders were like in their meeting room, their clubhouse, and they were like, "All right," Mox is like, "Hey, we need 3 people for this trios match. I'll go. Who else wants to go?" And then El Clone's like, "Me," and they're like, "Sweet, sweet, sweet." And then Claudio was about to say, "I'll go," but then Daniel's like, "I'll go. I'm ready for this. I'm ready. Put me in. I can do this." And they're like, "Fuck."
Damn it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, man. You're
Yeah.
gonna kill it, bro. You're gonna get killed. I mean, you're gonna kill it.
Yeah, I've got to say, part of AEW is still much more opportunity oriented than I would suggest like the WWE is. But they have gotten to a place where they've got enough good talent that they can shuffle off the guys that don't, need to be their main roster off into Ring of Honor. And I think Daniel Garcia accidentally slipped through the cracks into the main roster. Like he
Yeah,
is a
I
talent I would cut. Him and Daddy Magic, they had their place, but their time is over. They are a joke act at this point. And Daniel
yeah.
Garcia has yet to show me anything that leads me to believe otherwise. Like I just don't take this dude seriously in the ring. He does nothing for me.
Well, tell us how you really feel. No.
I did.
Yeah.
Um so I liked this match well enough, but I really feel like it was lost exclusively by the use of Daniel Garcia here.
Maybe that was the
And
point. Maybe
it
maybe
it
they'll
it could be
address
the
that.
point. But I'm also expected to believe that the Death Riders are trying to seriously go against the Don Callis family. So they're what 5 people versus 257,000. The Don Callis family. I'm exaggerating, but not by much.
The whole
You know,
state of
if
California.
if if you're going to try to go to war with them, you're going to have to be substantially superior to what they can bring to the table, and I did not see that here. I get that you're trying to give El Clone and the Walking Weapon some look good time, and they've obviously got to win some of these matches, or it's just going to look like the Death Riders are taking over again. But here, it just looked like if the Death Riders are trying to go to war with Don Callis, this is going to be over quickly, and the Death Riders are going to lose badly.
Yeah. You ain't wrong. Or they can just send Marina
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
nobody can fight her because she
She's the
has a
real
vagina.
walking weapon. Um, no one can fight her. Nobody will fight her, I think
Yeah.
is the truth of the matter.
Like a fist comes
Uh
out of her crotch. It just starts
oh,
punching.
gross. It's made entirely of mother's milk.
Blech.
Um, bleh. But after that match, we get a quick promo from Swerve Strickland, where Rennie Packett, who was looking fantastic on this evening, like she had gotten well rested. It's amazing what a good night's sleep will do.
Yeah, she was looking
Um,
cute.
and she's interviewing Strickland and Nana, and she asked about last week's loss, taking Swerve out of the title picture for now. Where's he focusing next? And Swerve didn't even acknowledge that question with an answer. He instead has Nana come in to speak and
Take care of
says,
his lightweight.
the focus hasn't changed at all. A single loss doesn't change our focus. We're still coming for that title. And that was it. Short and to the point.
Yep.
We also got a video package of Will Ospreay and watching the video package, I looked at it because it's him taking like a ton of fucking like massive bumps and like crazy dives, and I'm like, so are you showing us all of what led to him needing neck surgery? I mean, what are we
Yes,
trying to say here?
yes, there
Um,
were.
and ultimately, they indicate that Excalibur indicates that Osprey underwent successful neck surgery, but they don't yet know what his timetable is. But at least the surgery was a success, so that's fantastic because I have missed Will
Yay!
Osprey. Um, that said, please take all the time that you you need to make sure that you return healthy as you can. Uh, but that leads us into our next match of the night, which was a mixed tag match with Timeless Tony Storm and Orange Cassidy versus Jordan Oasis and Brittany Brooks, sorry. Uh, AKA another set of local talent. So we kind of know going in what this is. What were your thoughts on this match?
Think this was more of the same. They had a match. I think what was this? What did they have on a Collision or was it Dynamite?
I think it
Last
was
week's
last
Dynamite.
collision, but I'm not
Oh,
entirely sure.
yeah. So it was more of the same with that, where they were fighting two local talents, and it was to also somewhat progress the storyline of them having a shaved head match with Marina Shafir and Will Ospreay. I'm sorry, with Wheeler Yuta. Now I got Osprey on the brain.
Wheeler
Uh,
Osprey.
yeah, this one was about as quick too. I mean, there was more of a playful nature between the locals and Orange Cassidy and Storm. Um, for example, they started out with a what was it, like the slapping competition between Orange Cassidy and Jordan Oasis. I think
Yeah.
Brittany Brooks was in there at first and ended up getting like or second and getting a kick, like a fake kick. One of those like psych type things that that Cassidy does. But
Yes, Orange came to the ring. Yeah, when he stepped in, Brittany was in there, and yeah, so he did the little fake kicks to her, and then I think tagged out.
yeah, and then that dude comes in, the dude being Jordan Oasis. That dude, he comes in and he's given Orange Cassidy the opportunity to slap him first to get the first hit, which I found extremely ballsy of one Jordan Oasis. Like, man, my man, I don't even know who you are. You That's pretty ballsy though. And luckily for him, Orange Cassidy didn't know when to quit playing, so he also gave him one of his gentle paps, one of his gentle skippity paps. Um,
Kitten mittens.
yeah, he kitten mittened him, but kitten mittened him. Say that 3 times fast. Long story short, this was just another fun match between Cassidy and Storm and these locals, Oasis and Brooks. Um, Oh, at the end of this match, and just in case you guys, I mean, because I don't know if you want me to hold out for your bit to say
Nah, go
who
ahead.
won the
Go ahead.
match or not, but you guys, I know you're about to be hella surprised, but Cassidy and Storm won. What? Uh, after which,
Shocking! What an upset. I thought Brooks and Oasis had it for sure.
you know what? I think it was also important to note that Jordan was bald. So
Bald.
during his interaction with Cassidy, there was a point where Orange Cassidy just rested his hands on his bald head and rubbed it and had a look on his face like this could be me. And so then he slowly draws his hands back and that guy is looking at him like the hell are you doing? Which I don't blame him because it was I mean he did it from the back. Like Orange Oh, if I were that guy, I'd be like, "What the fuck is happening right now?" I would be the same thing. But then after this match, Orange Cassidy grabs the mic and he pretty much says that he does not want to be bald. Uh, and Tony expresses some regret behind even like agreeing to the match. Like, why did she even think of it? Because I mean, she's the one who yelled it, who yelled it out. So they kind of had moments of weakness where they doubted the desire, or doubted the desire to have this match. Luther comes into the ring and puts like a robe, or puts like her cloak back on her shoulders, on Tony's shoulders, while she weeps on the mat, and then she snaps out of it, and she she snaps out of it, and she does the James Brown, and like knocks the robe off of herself. Comes back with a, "We're gonna win this. We're gonna win this, and either you're gonna give Yuta a really cute comb over, or she's gonna make Marina look like Mox." And she
Yep.
mic dropped at that. That was it. I thought this was entertaining and funny. But like a more of the same from the last match, the last mixed tag team match that they've had. And thank you AEW for mixed tag team matches. I'm so happy that you're back there.
Yeah. Not oft used match type. Um, I don't have a ton more to add to that.
Yeah,
It was just a fun promotion of like because it's comedy gold when you get Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm together. Like it's just hilarious.
yeah.
Um, as far as the local talent, I see some potential in Jordan Oasis. Brittany
Oh
Brooks,
God,
however,
bro.
she made Tony look awkward trying to do the hair mirrors and then poorly sold a DDT. She needs a lot of work for her in ring. Otherwise, she just comes across as another screaming blonde.
A
Um,
lot of work. Yeah, I can't even believe I must have blocked that out. We were
yeah, because I
watching
remember when
this.
we were watching it, you literally gasped, "She is terrible," regarding Brittany Brooks, and she was.
Oh
Um,
my, that poor child. Yeah, I
yeah,
forgot. Seriously, I blocked that out. She was crazy, and the way she took her bumps looked so freaking reckless. Like not in a "aw sick" but also very cool. Like I see how they pulled that. No, no, like in a nervous, like un. I don't know. It was like she
yeah. It
she
it
looked
looks
like,
slightly off and awkward. Like her in-ring
yeah,
work skills need a lot of in-ring work skills. Um,
a
but
lot.
that was really kind of the only downside was that Miss
Or maybe
Brooks
she was
needs
hella
needs help.
nervous.
It could be that she was hella nervous too, but on the opposite end of that, even though both of them their job was to job, I feel like Oasis nailed it. I feel like he did great.
Yeah.
Um, I also liked that there was a bit of a joke. They didn't like spotlight it, but Tony Storm is going on about, I don't know why I made this match. My hair is my life. If I was bald, I'd look like a boiled egg. I'd be hideous, grotesque, and disgusting. And the whole time Luther, bald as a cue ball, is standing there and looking nervous like how gross is bald. So she was basically running Luther into the ground unintentionally, and I thought that was an amusing side effect of this line of joking. um but yeah, other than that, I pretty much agree with you entirely. This was just a fun little, like, hey, we've got a hair match coming at Grand Slam Australia, and they kind of did a freak out about like, no, I like my hair.
Yeah.
So it was good. After that,
Ugh.
we get a promo segment where Darby Allen was like skateboarding in the back of the show, because you can see like the loading truck with all of their logo stuff and posters on it, and Clark Connors and Gabe Kidd like jump out of a, I don't know what was that, like some kind of muscle car, and then proceed to just body Darby Allen and then throw him in the trunk and kidnap him. And that was just Darby Allen's day. Um,
Here, let me give you a summary of the words used by Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors. Here we go. Ah, ah, mm, mm,
Arnold?
ah. Yeah,
Ow,
that was
ow, ow.
my tummy. That was that's pretty much it though. Boy, I this is another now couple of dudes that I am trying with. But Gabe Kidd is such a try hard. That's how he comes off, guys. I'm sorry. For me, that's how he comes off. Like it's like, bro, calm the fuck down. You shut up. You
I do think they introduced us to a new faction that they're forming, or at least a tag team. What were they called? The War
uh
Dogs or something
I
like
don't
that?
I don't know. The
The War Dogs!
flea
It's
fur or
Gabe
whatever.
Kid. It's Gabe Kid's time now.
It's his time, isn't it? Um,
In it.
like God, man, Gabe. And Connors is
Clark
no
Kent.
better. Like he's all. What did he say when they got into the car?
Let's
Uh,
ride.
yeah, let's ride. Shut up. Like, bro, just drive.
Yeah, I
And
remember laughing because you were like, did Gabe need to tell him that? Because Gabe's like, let's go. And
yeah, yeah,
they get in the car.
I was just
Yeah.
about to say. So
Yeah.
they just put a grown man into the trunk of their car. Um, where what was Gabe expecting Connor to just want to hang out after that? Were they just gonna lean on the car and have a cigarette or whatever, or
Yeah,
maybe
we
go to
need to make
7
sure
and
that
get a
that
big
Clark
gulp?
understands it's not time for tea yet.
Yeah, let's get out of here. That's right. Like, yeah, I know, my dude. Get in the car. I already know. You freaking nutsack shaped head ass. Get in the car.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm trying with these two because I think both men can go in the ring. What I'm trying to
Yeah.
see is if their characters are going to be like entirely goofy or if I mean I just still am waiting to see. I guess
I
is where
don't
I'm at.
know.
Same
Gabe
as you.
Kid looks like he sleeps with a teddy bear. Like, go sit down. Stop.
Ah,
Stop acting like you all hard, man. And Clark Connors, man, my guy. Your first name is Clark. Clark and Gabe. Both y'all need to stop. Cut it out right now, please. That's right.
that doesn't strike fear into your heart. You're not immediately intimidated by Clark and Gabe.
No, no. Clark Connors sounds like a kid that I put in timeout. Clark,
He sounds
Clark,
like an attorney or an accountant.
Clark Connors sounds like the neighborhood, my neighbor's kid that came to my house and asked for like he want to borrow butter, or like my mom wants to know if you have a spatula. That's Clark Connors right there. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah.
Gabe Kid looks
No.
like he still rides a trike. Shut up. Ain't nobody ain't nobody scared of Gabe Kid. And just because you wow in the like bro, I'm not afraid. I'm concerned that maybe you might have asthma because you haven't done anything. You haven't done anything but like pick up a man who weighs about 45 pounds and put him in the trunk of your car. 100 pounds in total, but like, split it up between the two of you, so 50-50. Yeah, so you picked up about 40-50 pounds. You put it in the trunk of your car. Like I can do that. That's like a bag of rice. Like I can do that. And I can get in my car and I'm not all I'm not doing that. So you are, which concerns me. Maybe go to your doctor. Talk to your doctor about your breathing issues and see if they can hook you up. You know,
Or remember your inhaler next time.
or maybe yeah. But you know what? I don't blame you, Gabe. I wouldn't want to pull out an inhaler after talking all the shit I just talked. Yeah, I'm gonna destroy you. Inhaler. Yeah, that's not gonna work. So I don't blame you. But
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 yeah,
maybe
after that,
pick
Darby
your
Allin's
lane.
just like holla. You know,
Yeah.
we have no idea at this point where they have taken him.
Yeah.
Um,
And
But
so badass is 110-pound Darby Allen that you had to bring a second man into this fight to help you, Gabe. So why would we seriously take you as a competitor? Why would we do that?
yeah, yeah. No, it definitely isn't the strong move that they think it is. That
No.
75 pounds soaking wet Darby Allen is your 2-man attack.
Yeah. And you needed two men to put him in the trunk of your car, bruh. And then apparently you had to tell that man that it was time to go. He was just gonna stand outside. Yeah,
And then
okay.
he had to reinforce that by going, "Let's ride."
Like, get out of my face, you nerd. I said it.
Nerd. Clark's a nerd.
You're a nerd, Connor. Yeah, you're a nerd,
But
Gablet.
moving on from the kidnapping of Darby Allen, we are brought to a match between Hangman Adam Page
Oh boy.
versus Mark Davis of the Don Callis family. I'm starting to think Don Callis was right. Like, it should just be Don Callis presents Dynamite, because I think he had a member of his family in damn near every match on the
Damn
card
near
except for the women's
every
match.
match. Yeah, and if he gets a chick into his promotion, it's over. It's over. It's over for the Death Riders for sure. Like it's over at that point. He'll have an answer for every single. He's got luchadors. He's got strong
Mhm.
style wrestlers. He's got high flyers. He's got everything.
He's got big guys. He's
He's
got,
got big
main
guys.
eventers. He's got everybody. Yeah. Like, the roster is ridiculous.
Yeah, like he really is in control of the biggest and the best right now. So yeah, that's it, and that's a correct flex. This dude, Mark Davis, yo, you guys know I love me some Hangman Adam Page, and I think that he's he's the total package for me. He is almost like the poster child for the perfect type of wrestler. Hangman Adam Page is. He's good in the ring. He's good on the mic. He's good in promos. He's just good. Period. He like
Yeah,
you
and
can
he's got charisma for days. Like, he could show up
for
and not say
days.
anything and just be there and making faces, and it just evokes.
Yeah, and I'm amused. Yeah, so he's got that vibe. Um, boy, Mark Davis beat the stuffing.
Yeah. Yeah, I for a second there I was
Ooh,
like, was this supposed to be Hangman's match, or was this supposed to be Darby Allen in this match?
gee, bus. Holy smacks did Mark Davis take it to Adam Page. Like, I don't think I've seen him be just manhandled like that before. He's been in some crazy matches where he's just kind of like dead on his feet, like a walking zombie. His matches with Swerve Strickland took him to the absolute limit of what he could handle. These two dudes were just dead on their feet. But this was a whole different situation. This was a you don't even get a
Yeah.
chance to get on your feet. This was a while on your feet, I'm gonna knock your spirit out of your body. Like Mark Davis, he manhandled Adam. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. So this ended up being almost like a David versus Goliath type match, and they're pretty much the same size. Like they're pretty equal in size. Yeah, Mark Davis was like, "No, we're not."
No, no. Mark Davis absolutely bodied him here.
Holy cow! Like we already knew when we saw Mark Davis, like the first couple of times he came to AEW, we were like, "Holy shit, this kid is strong." Like that is a strong dude. Um, he had he did some insane like bouts of strength there. But this, like just yeeting Hangman, just literally just knocking his block off. This was a amazing showing for Mark Davis, one that I did not expect to see. I did not expect for him to give Hangman, it wasn't like he could, no, he didn't give Hangman Adam Page like a hard time. He gave him no time to breathe. Like, he gave him no time to live. He couldn't even think about what his next move was gonna be. Hangman had him Adam Page had a look on his face at one point where he was thinking, maybe I can do this. And before that thought was finished, he got knocked in his he got knocked
Yeah.
into another spiritual realm by Mark Davis. Like, this was crazy. It was crazy. Still, it was great. It was good. Davis's stock went up like 10 to 30% in this match. Uh, Hangman's stayed the same because it's Hangman. He could take the wallop. Um, but he did indeed receive a wallop. Yeah, I was very shocked at how significantly strong or stronger Mark Davis looked in comparison to Hangman. Like, he gave that dude a run for his money. I was actually to the point where I was surprised that Hangman ended up with the victory because I was honestly thinking like, wow, are they just about to beat the snot out of Hangman? Are they just trying to build like a story with him and Mark for some reason? Like, where are we going with this? And yeah, I was concerned there at the toward the end, but
Yeah. That was one of the things I think I appreciated about this match is that Davis really looked like, had things gone just ever so slightly different, he could have had Paige.
yeah.
And I'm with you. I can't recall a time we've ever seen Hangman Page bodied like this, like where he was just getting slung around the ring like it was nothing.
Mm-mm.
I think the turning point of
Yeah.
this match, and it was a slobber knocker of a match. I absolutely recommend anybody who is listening, if you get the time, take a look at it. But there was a point where Davis sent Hangman out onto the entrance ramp, it was one of those situations where the entrance ramp rolls right up to the ring apron. So it's a bit elevated. So it's just immediately ramp when you step out of one side of the ring. And I think Davis tried to get Hangman up for a tombstone or something, and Hangman reversed it and then proceeds to tombstone Davis onto the entrance ramp. And then that pretty much rang Davis's bell enough for Page to kind of come back and give it to him and eventually hit a buckshot lariat to pick up the 3 count. But it was only because of that reversal into the tombstone on the outside that Davis was slowed down enough for Hangman Page to be able to pull that off. This
Yeah.
was a ridiculous match to watch Hangman compete in because he had to earn every piece of this steak for that night. Davis really brought it to him, and it was an excellent showing for Mark Davis. Like, he, as a power wrestler, his stock, like you said, has gone through the roof with this match. It was a banger,
Yeah.
right? Hangman Page is in a match, and it's a banger to the surprise of no one.
Absolutely no one. The only
But
surprise I had was that Hangman got banged banged up before he ended up winning.
yeah, he took a beating to win this match.
Yeah.
And now that means Hangman Page will face the winner of whoever comes out of Kenny Omega and Andrade El Idolo as the winner at AEW Grand Slam, in order to determine a number one contendership for the AEW World Championship at AEW Revolution in March. Um,
Yeah.
After that match, we get a brief promo, like a video package of the Jet Kevin Knight. And this seems almost like it's something new that AEW is doing, where they're doing these really short little kind of promos for wrestlers,
Yeah. Well,
and it showed off, how far Kevin Knight has come and the special talent that he is. And so it was just, hey, here's Kevin Knight, and he's kind of a big deal.
yeah.
And I thought, okay, cool,
Well, it is Black History Month.
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding. No, no, no. Do not you
I mean, I
or
don't know. I
anyone
don't know
or
what
you
month is Black History Month.
you or anyone listening, do not think that just because it's Black History Month that's why they did that little vignette for Kevin Knight. They're doing it for I think they're doing it for all the newer talent. Like they're giving people a push. They're basically doing what WWE does, like what they've been doing with the bouncy boy, the bouncy boy.
The bouncy boy. Hey, I mean, he calls himself that. It's
He
Javon
does.
Evans.
He
This boy
does.
is bouncy.
Not bouncy.
Sorry, Cody Rhodes was saying it.
Not your tongue in the way, bouncy. Oh no.
Oh yeah, bouncy. Um, but having determined who will face the winner of Kenny Omega and Andrade El Idolo, they don't leave us in suspense because the next match is Andrade El Idolo of the Don Callis family uh, versus Kenny Omega. And do you mind if I lead off with my thoughts on this one?
No, go ahead.
All right. I thought this was another good showing for Andrade because he's relatively quickly, like since they reintroduced him, he started out having a couple of like showcase matches and then immediately had a match with Swerve, which was like way up the card, and now is having a match with Omega. So this was really good for Andrade. And I feel like for a good portion of the match, Omega and Andrade were kind of going move for move, move for move. But there is a point where Kenny Omega starts to get the one up on him, hitting a few of the dragon suplexes in some V trigger action that leads to, I guess, Don Callis and Andrade becoming nervous. Do you mind if I go ahead and give the finish?
No, absolutely not.
All
Go
right.
for it.
So Don Callis gets nervous and goes and gets the screwdriver to the surprise of no one and hands it to Andrade. But before Andrade is able to utilize the screwdriver, he's standing near the ropes and Swerve comes down the entrance ramp and grabs the screwdriver out of his hands. And this, of course, summons the referee over who was previously, contending with Don Callis, who was on the apron, um, to now chastise Swerve because Swerve is standing just on the outside of the ring with a screwdriver in his hand. And and I believe the ref was Aubrey Edwards, sorry. Um, she is dealing with Swerve, and this allows Andrade to once again, secure a match with a low blow and the DM, which he does to Omega and picks up the win. So, Swerve attempting to keep Andrade from cheating actually facilitated Andrade cheating. And this means that it will be Andrade El Idolo who goes on to face Hangman Adam Page. So he's going up to Swerve, Omega, and he's going to Hangman Page. So straight up the card. This, of course, results after the match in tensions escalating between Swerve, who can be overheard. Like he's not mic'd, but we still heard him saying, "Look, I was just trying to help you." Because Omega came up to Swerve and kind of was like, "What the fuck, man?" And so they get into a bit of a shoving contest, and security floods the ring and keeps the two apart. But it looks like Swerve Omega is going to be a thing now.
Yeah.
And this, of course, as I mentioned before, confirms that it will be Andrade versus Hangman at Grand Slam Australia for that number one contender spot. And ultimately the shot at the AEW Heavyweight Championship. That was my thoughts on the match. What were yours?
Um, I thought this was actually like an like an even match. So I honestly did not know who was gonna win this. And we talked about that even before the match started, like who do you think's gonna take this one? And I'm like, man, I do not know. Because I feel like had this been a fair fight, and I think this is ultimately what we both ended up agreeing on. Um, if this had been a fair fight where it was no interruptions, no interferences, no cheating, I think, and I think we both agreed that Omega would have had uh Andrade's number eventually. But because he's a part of the Don Callis family, I could expect for him to cheat. How it wasn't even really anything that any outside members of the group did. Sure, Don Callis tried to throw the screwdriver in there, but it wasn't really that ended up getting the victory. It was just the distraction. So all that was needed was a distraction, and then of course the Don Callis family gonna Don Callis family. So
Yeah.
you know Andrade gives him the classic ball kick, the classic kick of the bole, and
Kickball change.
yeah, yes, and all of a sudden Kenny went from a tenor to a soprano, and match won by Andrade. This was still a good match. It was fun. It was entertaining. And it kind of went the way that we thought it was going to win. I felt like Andrade was going to win, uh, but if he did, it would be some cheating. Like, well, while I'm watching the match, I started to feel more and more like this is going to be Andrade's match, and it ended up being so. But just because you know something doesn't mean that it lacked entertainment. It was still entertaining to watch. It was still a really good, solid match between the two. And
Yeah.
like good job on Kenny Omega keeping his guts in his body.
Yes, since they can't not constantly, especially Excalibur, point out diverticulitis. You know, I ended up agreeing with stuff Don Callis was saying at the commentary. Like, I really agreed when Don Callis told Excalibur to stop with the diverticulitis stuff.
Stop
And I'm
talking
sitting there
about
thinking,
it.
Don Callis, the guy who hates Kenny Omega the most, is telling you to quit bringing up the diverticulitis because you're pigeonholing Kenny Omega as that disease. It's old. It's over. Like, we get it. He had diverticulitis, but how about you focus on the fact that he's the fucking god of pro wrestling? Let's go with that. Let's keep Omega over for the right reasons, not, that he is suddenly the poster child for fucking diverticulitis. Come
Well,
on.
I mean, by the same token, though, this is also the same promotion that had Kenny Omega like puking blood from.
Yeah. And I mean, it may have made some sense back when he was closer to like the recovery stage, but at this point we are well past that and he's
Yes.
been cleared to wrestle like each of these matches. So it's not like you're going to like thump him and suddenly his guts explode. Yet sometimes they pitch it that way and it's like
His
I'm good on Omega being defined by diverticulitis. Like I'm personally super over it, so I agree with Don Callis here.
Like I'm fully expecting for them to start just adding crazy, like quote unquote facts about diverticulitis. Like every time Kenny
Oh
Omega
man.
is like in the ring, if he's on camera, just at the bottom of your screen. Did you know people with diverticulitis cannot be outside in direct sunlight for more than 40 minutes?
Or they explode. Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, wait, why?
Had no reason given. They're like, you got Google. Um, yeah, and I agree with you. This was still a very good match, even though, like, right as it was starting, I remember I think I asked you, who do you have winning this match? And you said, ooh, I don't know, like, because they're up on Andrade, but like Omega says he's feeling better than he's ever felt, and they're up on him too, so it's hard to say. And I think I was like, well, yeah, I could see that. I tend to think if it's a straight match, Omega wins. If there's any shenanigans, Andrade can win. And we were both basically correct in that assumption. Like, both guys are up right now, but Andrade had to use shenanigans to get the win, same as he did over Swerve.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
But very, very good match. Um, and I'm interested in the feud that is going to transpire between Swerve and Omega because like even before Swerve came out, and I'm not sure I would suggest that he necessarily came out to help Omega so much as he was trying to prevent Andrade from screwing his way up the championship, contendership by cheating. I think he was more interested in screwing over Andrade than necessarily helping Omega because the past few times that we've seen Omega and Adam Page and Swerve all in the ring with each other, while there's obviously some respect between Adam and Omega and Adam and Swerve, Swerve and Omega, like Swerve seems to have a problem with Omega. Like he seemed to have a problem with Omega prior to this. So I believe we've seen the beginnings of what is now going to obviously be a feud spot between the two of them, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
And after that, we find out, um, or we get a video package, I think, of Brody King saying things like, "Sometimes violence is the answer," and talking about how it's violence that brought him to where he is now in AEW, and it's just a package of Brody kicking the crap out of people. Um, so I think it's good that they're showing this. Because I think sometimes Brody can be seen as like a really talented guy who sort of falls through the cracks, at least as a singles competitor.
Yeah.
And I think they're trying to change that. And I'm
I
here
hope
for
so.
that. Huh?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. I hope they are. He's
Yeah,
well deserving of more than what they've given him.
he is one of their most talented big men. Like
Yeah.
whenever he's had stuff to do in a match, he always does the most with it.
Yep.
Like I remember we saw a ladder match where like him and Bandito were in it, and it was like a six-man match, and like he does crazy shit for a guy his size and height. I mean, he is insane. So I'm all for a push of Brody King. He has definitely worked his ass off for it. Um so I fully agree. We also get a brief segment where AEW Women's World Champion Chris Statlander says that next week on Dynamite, Tekla is going for a rematch with or against Chris Statlander with whatever stipulation Stat chooses. And so Rennie Packet is back there and she asks Statlander, well, what's the stipulation? And Statlander says, yeah, everyone, including Tekla, wants to know, but you're going to have to wait until Saturday to find out. And she says, yeah, I know, what a tease. And then I think she went on to say something along the lines of, and to Tekla, pray that the nickname Cosmic Killer is just a nickname or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Mic drop. I was like,
Mic
bars,
drop. And Stat looked
bars.
good. The gear she was wearing looked cool. She had like this cool shoulder thing going on that worked with her tattoos. So she was looking badass.
I thought
And
she was
as we
Megan
mentioned
Bayne at
earlier,
first.
Rennie Packet was looking, well rested. So what? I'm sorry. What did you say about her shoulder thingy?
Said I thought she was Megan Bayne at first.
Oh no.
I did. That's what Statlander's outfit looked like. But um, you know, then actually looked at her and I was like, yeah, no, that is not Megan.
No, I wasn't sure what to make of it. It either looked like it was some kind of almost Celtic kind of
I
design
liked it though.
or like
Yeah.
elvish, like from Lord of the Rings or something, Like
It
I was
looked
like
more like that.
immediately after this, Chris is going to the local Renaissance festival or something.
Yeah, like she's cosplaying an elf or something. Which she could pull off.
Yeah. But that brings us to
Lander.
the AEW. I'm sorry?
Said Team Elflander.
Team Elflander. That
Yeah.
brings us to the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship Eliminator match. And this is going to be Mega Bad. Not the match. This is the first team, Megan Bain and Penelope Ford, known as Mega Bad, versus the Babes of Wrath, Harley Cameron and TBS champion and Women's World Tag Champion, Willow Nightingale. And what were your thoughts on this match?
um I don't think I understand the purpose or point of Penelope Ford just yet. Um I don't I'm not sure what it is she do. I thought that she was a wrestler. I mean, that's what they told me. They told me she was a wrestler. But so far, since she's come back from her injury, I've seen her pounce on women and scream at the audience. And poke other female wrestlers' tits. Seeing that. That's about it. She is attached at the show or attached at the hip of Megan Bain, and bless Megan's heart. Megan is doing all the work in this tag team. I'm so sorry about it. All the heavy
Yeah.
lifting Megan is doing. I don't know what Penelope does. I'm not sure. Um, I wish that somebody could. I wish she could show me exactly what it is she does, but I just don't know. Like the match opened with her pouncing on it was Willow, right? Yeah, she pounced on Willow and
Yeah.
basically just rubbed her shoulders and looked at the audience and screamed. I'm
And
like
was like,
I one more time. What was she like? Yeah, that, that's like she did something like that, like some kind of gremlin growl. Um, and we both didn't know how to take that, but I mean, like that's the awkwardness that is Penelope Ford. Like she could go in the ring, but I just don't know what she's doing as of late. That is my point. That's my only point. They talked about how they were looking good, and I'm like, no, Megan's looking good. Megan has been in the ring for like 90% of the match. Like she's fought both uh uh fought both Willow and Cameron. So like she's in here doing it all, man. And then Penelope gets in, like she did the last match where she gets in at the end of the match, and then does some stuff like Megan has bodied everybody, and then Penelope wants to get in and just basically take the pin and the victory. Like that's it. I don't know. I don't know what Penelope's doing, but aside from that, it was a great three-woman match. The other 3 were doing great jobs. Harley is looking better than she's looked, in the beginning. She's looking way better now. She's every time she gets into the ring, there's more and more improvement, and that's great to see. Um, so I can say that Willow, is, of course, looking dominant as ever. That pounce that she has, or the pounce that she does. There was the really cool little segment there where she did the pounce to Megan, which ain't no small feat, pun intended.
no.
Um, but and she moved her girl. She got her moving all right. That was a really cool spot. Um, what did you think about this match?
I thought that for what it was okay, but I have
Yeah,
to agree with you in a lot of ways. Um, I do feel like we saw more of Penelope Ford in the ring than we've seen since she returned from injury. There were more double team moves between her and Bane,
yeah,
but not like a lot. And the few times that Penelope was kind of solo, she did stuff that was weird. I remember at one point in the match, I said to you, man, they keep getting Willow like they're straddling her while she's on all fours, and
yeah,
like they're trying to ride her like a pony. And
yes.
that began with Penelope Ford like straddling atop of her and then basically looking like she gave her a shoulder rub. Like it did I didn't see a move that she did that like made Willow go down, but like she put her hands on her shoulders and then gave that weird growl. So Ford is still very awkward all on her own. Like it's just weird. And I do agree with you wholeheartedly that it feels like this is mostly Megan Bain carrying their team, but there were a few more double team moves in this.
More than the
You've
last
said a
match,
couple of
yeah.
times you think Penelope Ford can go. I'm not convinced. So I'm waiting for her to show me that
I
that's
mean,
the
she
truth.
used to. Like
I don't
before she
recall.
left for injury, no, she had that really cool, like, DDT that she used to do.
She
That
used to
it
have one that she kinda did where she did sort of a backbend into a cutter, and I haven't seen her
Yeah.
use that in a long time, and that was basically it, though. If that is her being able to go, she had one move. Because I remember watching her, like, a couple of times before she was injured, where before she was in a tag team with Bane, she came back and had a very confused character who, like, I couldn't tell if she was trying to be a surfer dude that comes out in furs. Like, her character was all over the place. She had a match with, I want to say, maybe Jamie Hayter or somebody, and she had her first match back was good, and then she had a match with, and we don't see her anymore, and I damn sure don't miss her. The dentist, that chick.
Oh, Britt Baker.
Yes, and that match was such a freaking shit show. Oh my god, it was atrocious. And then Penelope Ford hasn't ever recovered from that. Like, she's starting to get some momentum again because she's paired with Megan Bain, and Megan Bain does all the work, but I'm still waiting for Penelope Ford to show me anything. That said, the other, like you pointed out, the other three women in the match did great. Bane
Yeah.
looked great in the ring. Like, if you have a complaint about Bane, I don't think it's about her in-ring work. Like she does well there. Um, I think they're trying to remind us that Bane is a woman. Like, I guess some people maybe on the internet are challenging that because she's a big woman, she's manly. So they got her coming out sometimes in a little black dress and doing more feminine things. But I mean, as far as in the ring, she destroys.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so this
She's
this was
pretty
for what
dominant.
it was, a good enough match. But yeah, the odd man out, no pun intended, was Penelope Ford, who is just weird in the ring if she isn't doing a specific like kind of double team move with Bane.
Yeah.
Um Awkward even. But ultimately they do get Harley Cameron up in the Tower of Doom. And since Megan Bain is the legal competitor when they do this, it's Bain who ends up pinning Cameron, and Megabad gets the win over the AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions, which redonkulously doesn't suddenly make them the champions because this was only an eliminator match. So now they have a chance to get a title match against the Babes of Wrath on AEW Grand Slam Australia.
Yeah. Which, okay, fine. I'm here for it. I'll allow it.
Yeah. And I don't know, Megan Bain could win the tag titles all by herself or with some help from Penelope Ford, assuming Ford doesn't do weird things and get in the way. Um, that said, following that match, we are brought to the brand new TNT champion, a recently debuted Tommaso Ciampa, who informs us that he won the title by answering an open challenge from Briscoe. So, in respect to him and the TNT title, he will keep that tradition going. And I believe your comment at that point was, "You messy," and I love it. It's so petty.
I'm so here for it, guys. I am so here for them doing a uh challenge, an open challenge for Collision, like, every week. I don't know where they got that from. It feels very original. I don't think I've ever seen a promotion do something like that. So this is pretty innovative of AEW. Good job, AEW. Good job.
Yeah, I agree. It's a really solid way for Dragunov to elevate the Intercontinental. Oh, sorry, for Champa to elevate the TNT title. Um, so we'll see how this ends up going. I've never seen anything like this ever.
Yeah,
Um,
never.
But I am here for it because if it just results in really, really good matches that carry themselves on their in ring work, I am so here for that. And when it comes to a match that can carry itself on in ring work, I mean, AEW's got that all day. That's their strong suit.
Yeah. On
It's
lock.
also it's also worth noting that Tommaso Ciampa is crazy and has named the TNT title Sylvie and gave it kisses.
Hey, I love that he gave that belt a name. If he's gonna bring it out and it's gonna have lingerie on, like a
I
wig.
mean, is his wife okay with this? I guess so. She was there.
I
Um,
mean, he's probably got her doing some weird stuff with the belt.
oh man, I don't even want to. I'm moving on. After that promo, um,
And it
we
depends on
are
what his wife
brought
looks like.
stop. We are brought to AEW. Come on now. We are brought to AEW
Stop it.
National Championship match. Ricochet, the defending champ, bald, versus Jungle Jack Perry. And what did you think of Bald Man versus Hairy Man?
Um, this when I saw these two on the placard, I was like, "Oh snap! This is going to be good," and I was not wrong. I thought this was a pretty fun match. Um, Perry looked like a solid competitor against Ricochet. And I'm not saying that like I'm surprised. I think, that he could go, especially against Ricochet. I didn't have a doubt there. But I was very happy to see how well he hung in there against Ricochet. Um
Yeah,
I like the Jungle Jack Perry version of Jack Perry way more than the heel. The heel just kind of struck me as I don't even know, listless, like morose, just so just whatever, just deadpan.
yep,
Was not my favorite. But this one, and I mean, he even wrestled that way. He wrestled like he just whatever. So this version is much much more entertaining. Um, just like this version of Ricochet is much much more entertaining. Ricochet as a heel is chef's kiss. I feel like he found his sweet spot here in AEW, and I hope that continues. And this match, in and of
yeah,
itself, just like this match was it was not my match of the night, but it was close. This was maybe my second favorite match of the night, but I ended up having like two, and if I'm pressed, I could end up with three on on this episode. I could end up with three uh top matches for myself. But this is yeah, so this would be one of the three. What did you
nice.
think?
Um, I felt like this was a very good match between these two. I am really enjoying Jack Perry, and for a lot of the same reasons that you mentioned. Like since he's become Jungle Jack, he's been, and this is another example of what I mentioned earlier. Like we have watched his move set evolve. Like in some cases, like recently, like he's added into his repertoire like a spear that he throws that looks really fucking good. He's also nailed down that like where him and his opponent are running towards the corner and he does a backflip off the middle rope into a German suplex. He's the first couple of times we saw him do it, it was like, "Ooh, that was a little iffy because he kind of collided with his opponents, but he seems to have it nailed down now, and that's looking real good. Um, he opened the match by tossing Ricochet off of the entrance ramp, or no, Ricochet was down off the entrance ramp, and he does this running like flip senton onto him, and he full committed to it. So he did this thing at high speed and flew like 15 feet. It was crazy good. So Jack Perry as an in-ring worker is definitely on the rise. He is super improved.
Yeah.
And Ricochet is just Ricochet. Ricochet has always been that guy who's that damn good. It's just that now he has the ability to leverage it. Like he can do whatever it is he wants to try and do, and he is insane. Um,
Yeah.
so there were some really great spots in this match, and I believe Like this was another one. Like right before the match, it was like, who do you have winning this? And we went back and forth a little bit on it. And Ricochet, I think we settled on if Ricochet leverages the Gates of Agony, then I think Jungle Jack Perry doesn't have anybody to help him with that. And then you said, well, he might. What if the Young Bucks come out? And you ended up being spot on right about that. Um, GOA did come to the ring and interfere, helped break Ricochet out of a submission hold. I think it's called the snare trap that Jack Perry uses. It's an STF. And I remember when the ref came over to break it, Jack is like, What the hell, ref? Where were you?" Because like Toa Leona just literally pulls Ricochet to the ropes and then flips off Jack Perry. And Jack's like, "Where is the fucking ref?" Because he can't see him because he's holding his position in the STF. And he just looked at the ref like, "What the fuck, man?" Um,
Like,
uh,
what you doing?
where were you? And the Young Bucks are able to effectively neutralize GOA, but earlier in the match, Ricochet had introduced the title into the ring, and the ref tossed it off into a corner. And when the ref wasn't quite paying attention, Ricochet sets it
Oh,
up on the
again.
middle turnbuckle. And so, despite the Gates of Agony being dealt with, Ricochet is able to rocket Jack Perry face first into that middle turnbuckle and then hit Vertigo, a really nice looking one, by the way, to pick up the victory here. And it was just the night for the people that are using shenanigans to catch the win. The heels are up. Um, that said, though, I will absolutely be here for the rematch. I'm totally here for Jack Perry and Ricochet running it back because they give us a really solid match. Like this was a good one.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Fantastic. That's why I said one of my three faves.
Yeah, yeah, no, really, really good. And I can't agree with you more that Ricochet has never been better than he is right now.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Following following that match,
Oh Lord.
we find out that Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors have driven Darby Allen into the desert of Las Vegas, Nevada,
Ugh.
and they are in fact dragging him in a body bag behind the car. And then they pretty much open the body bag. I don't know, I guess, to be polite. And what did Kid say? He said something. He said, like, you said you were easy to find. And he said, I know. And they pretty much leave Alan in the desert. Um, because they unshackle him from the car and leave him taped up in the body bag in the desert with kids saying, "See you in hell, bruv. I'm checked in 2 doors down." And
Whatever the fuck that means.
that lets us well, I mean, he's a demon in hell apparently.
I'm just saying,
Um,
how did you get a room? Like, what? Alright, whatever. You got one
but
reserved, and they told you what your room number was? How you know where Darby gonna be?
well, my
Anyway.
question is why won't the cameraman just go help Darby out? They're just gonna leave him there. Um, so yeah, Darby Allen is out there dehydrating in the Nevada desert. So if somebody hears this, please, they go out there and help Darby. Like
Hashtag find Darby.
find Darby. Don't kill Darby. Um,
Hashtag where's Darby? Like, where's Waldo?
hashtag where's Darby? He's the one bleeding. Um, but that brings us to the much touted AEW World Championship Eliminator match. Big Brody King versus Maxwell Jacob Friedman, the defending champion. And what did you think of this match?
Now this was the ultimate match of the night. And I'm not even making a joke here. This was literally for me match of the night because we talk about ultimately what we would call squash matches, and how they really do no one involved any favors. This was the perfect example of the correct use for a so-called squash match. In my opinion, this was some of the like this was absolutely clever. I know it's a lot of people were a bit miffed about how this went, but I don't think that it needed to go any other way than the way it went, which was we got Hangman coming out at the very beginning of the match, and that immediately distracted MJF, like to the point that he's like coming out of the on the side of the apron, or coming out on the side of the ring just to yell at Hangman, who did nothing but come out. Well, now his music did cut on, which is always distracting, I think, for any wrestler. But that was it. He could have looked, MJF could have looked and seen what it was and then gone on about his business, threw a couple of curse words, the middle finger at Hangman, and then gone on about his business. But that is not what he did. So, as a result of his actions, we get a match that's maybe a minute in length of Brody hitting all his greatest hits on on uh on MJF, and it starts with the choke out, like that that choke out was diabolical. He chokes him out.
MJF sold it so perfectly.
Yeah, he sold it amazingly. He felt like a Roblox character, like he he felt like a Lego that popped out of a truck or something. Like he just it was hilarious. Um Yeah, this is probably just it was probably my favoriteest match of the night. Uh after he hits all his greatest hits, he gets the pin, and MJF is just on the mat like brr. And honestly, this match did not need to go any other way. They didn't need to have the struggle of back and forth. They didn't need to do any of that. I think they needed to give Brody an immediate bump. And that's exactly what this was. Like, we had already seen him as a dominant figure, but in that moment, we saw that AEW sees him as a dominant figure and not just some extra in a faction. So we get to see him be as dominant as he's ever been. I mean, over MJF, that is no small feat. I mean, I know he's a big guy, but MJF ain't no joke. Like we could all stop pretending like just because he's a heel and he talks shit and he pretends to be a little ratty sometimes that he can't go in the ring, because that's crazy
No.
talk.
Yeah, he's in
MJF
amazing
can
condition.
can destroy in the ring, right? Like think Ric Flair. Okay, Ric Flair was the heeliest heel that ever done healed, but you can't tell me that dude could go in the ring.
Yep.
Yeah, he could poke you in the eyes. Yes, he could. He could
Yeah.
maybe knee you in the balls. He could probably do that too. But he could
Mhm.
also body slam your ass straight to hell. You know what I mean? Like he could go in the ring, and
Yeah.
MJF is a perfect example of a young Ric Flair. The
And
dude is phenomenal.
that lends to the heel factor because it's like we can all see that you could wrestle this match straight if you chose to, but you take the
Yeah,
shortcut anyway when you didn't need to. You're clearly capable,
yeah.
but you still do the rat shit.
And I only bring that up because there's a lot of people online, so it really doesn't matter. But a lot of onliners who seem to be upset that MJF has this heel rat personality or persona, and I mean it works. It works for him. He makes it work, and he's good in the ring. But they are for some reason convinced that he's not. There's for some reason they're convinced that because he cheats, that's how he gets to win his matches, and it's like he really doesn't have to. Like it's just easier. You understand? He of course he's phenomenal. He could get in that ring and work just as hard as the next slob. He could, but he's not going to. He's gonna poke you in the eyes, and then when the ref's not looking, he's gonna hit you with the ring, and then we're gonna go on about our night because he's got other shit to do. I actually love that about his character. I love the fact that he's kind of like an insult comic. And I love it whenever he has jokes that are a bit more intelligent for his insult comics and not just 10 minutes of fat jokes. You know what I mean? Because I mean, there is more. There is more to talk about with characters, especially in AEW. Um, but yeah, this is probably the best squash match I've ever seen. This is one that was the perfect timing. Like this was the moment for a squash match. It was brilliant. This was a brilliantly produced match, and by the end of it, the audience imploded. They were losing their shit for Brody.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, losing their shit. There were so many barks, the walls were rattling. Yeah, it was great. Oh, shortly after that match, though, like Brody's still in the ring, and then Andrade comes in and tries to hit him from behind, which basically just he just came
Just
up
pissed him
behind him
off.
and was like, "I'm gonna massage your back." Like pretty much that was it. And Brody was like, what happened?" Turns around, and so then they go at it, and he ends up giving him, he being Andrade, ends up giving him Brody the back elbow, and that's what drops him. And then after that, somebody comes in and drops Andrade, isn't it? Hangman?
Hangman. Yep.
Yeah. Then Hangman drops Andrade, and then somebody comes in and drops Hangman, right?
Well, after dropping
Oh, no, 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 he
Andrade,
went to go no, Hangman was
he
gonna
goes after
go,
MJF.
and when he was gonna give him the lariat, the buckshot lariat, and while he was coming at him with the elbow, MJF gave him the kick to the the buckshot nut kick.
You give him the nutshot lariat.
Yeah, and then it was like, "Burp." But then somebody come and body MJF after that?
Yeah, at that point, Brody King has
Brody.
recovered from the
Yes.
faint punt kick back elbow that he received from Andrade, and he hops up and just demolishes MJF again.
Yeah, then Brody gets up and goes, "Maybe I didn't make myself clear the first time," and then just bodies MJF, and then it ends again with Brody being victorious. Listen, if Brody is the guy to win the belt next, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
Like,
seriously. And now I think everybody could believe it after seeing the way he did MJF in this.
yeah, if he's the guy, like don't tease us, man. If he's the guy, then give him the belt. If that's what the fans want, then I feel strong. I feel strongly and confidently that AEW would make the right decision. But let's see. Let's see, because I mean he hasn't had that belt long. I don't think anybody's winning. I think MGF is going to retain for at least the time being. But hey, if somebody else comes in and wins it, N I can't think of a better promotion to do it. So, what did you think about this match, by the
Oh
way?
man, I was so pleasantly surprised. This booking was both a surprise and yet perfect. Like it wasn't one of those surprises that's surprising because it's completely non sequitur. Like right as MJF's coming to the ring, he's struck by lightning or some random bullshit. The idea of having Hangman just step out onto the entrance ramp with his music playing, distracting MJF enough to allow Brody King to apron sleeper him, and then proceed to. I think the next two things that happened after he got him into the ring was like Brody's big cannonball and then a Gonzo bomb for the 1, 2, 3. It was so amazing to see that happen because that's a risk that most any other promotion doesn't take with their champions, and it shot Brody King as a serious contender straight to the top. And I mean, it was already a crowded set of challengers when you have Omega and Hangman and Swerve, and now they've added Andrade and Brody King to the list. I've never seen such a chased after championship or such a targeted champion.
Yeah.
And then, to have them come out and kind of have a conflict and it just go back and forth the way it did, ending with Brody hitting MJF with another Gonzo bomb and standing tall, just made Brody King, like, if you didn't take him serious before, you got to now. Because clearly he can get the job done because he absolutely destroyed MJF. Now, admittedly, you could say, well, it was that distraction, but we clearly see that what Brody brings in the way of offense is enough to take MJF down.
Yeah.
So it was a fantastic way to immediately jet rocket Brody King into this picture and be taken seriously without a whole bunch of convoluted bullshit. Like, this all also made sense. So it was amazing. And I've never seen such a short but so sweet main event. Like, that was such a risk to take and it paid
Yeah.
off so well. I'm so impressed at AEW for doing something so bold as this. Because there would be discussions about, like, well, won't that make MJF look like a bitch? And I'm like, MJF looking like a bitch is half of MJF's shtick. Um, like, this was great. I felt like this was amazing. It was so surprising and such a creative risk and just bold to do this. And it thrilled me to death. This on storyline, I would say would be like a match of the night, right? Because it wasn't like a 5-star banger, right? It wasn't bad. The things that happened in the ring were great, but in under a minute, you can't really have a 5-star banger. So this one was really about getting Brody King over and taken seriously, and I can't think of a better way to do it than the way they did it, and it was bold. I'm really pleased with it. I felt like this was a fantastic way to close the show. And you're right, like, the crowd was ape shit when this happened. Like, they were both surprised and here for it. And that is the right kind of a surprise. And you can kind of clearly see where they're going with it. They wanted Brody King to be taken seriously as a challenger for Grand Slam Australia, and that's going to be the case now.
Yeah.
So, with that being the main event of the evening and the close of the show, what was your review of this episode of AEW Dynamite?
Uh, I think I'm gonna have to give this top tier yet again. Um, this was you know what? I'm just gonna go with the standard yet decent 8.5 neck nubs. Eight neck nubs. It was a great show or a good show, fun to watch, great opener, great main event. I also appreciate their quick promos. I like the fact that they just get in and get out with it. I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, no,
Thank
no,
you for
20
not
minutes
talking
straight
to
of a
us for
monologue.
yes, thank you so much. Yeah.
Nice.
I feel like they're not making light of the audience's time.
Yeah, I fully agree. I feel like AEW, as much as, in more so actually than any other promotion out there, is giving you value for dollar on why you've shown up. Like, wrestling is very forward here, and they give you like what you came to see with very little interruption or bullshit. Um, so top tier.
Yeah, top tier.
All right. Well, I am inclined to agree with you. I actually also give it 8.5 neck nubs, so it is definitely top tier. The waiting for that being that there were very strong matches throughout. I felt like Ricochet and Jack Perry was a real banger of a match. Andrade and Omega was a banger of a match, at least, up to the point that Andrade cheats his way out. And Hangman and Mark Davis was just a brutal beating of Hangman Adam Page until it wasn't. So yeah, this was good stuff. And then you add that really like shockingly surprising, yet it all still works in the storytelling main event that was just a really bold move. And yeah, this becomes an 8.5 top tier from me
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Nice.
So yeah, exactly. It's good stuff. And I'm actually kind of excited to see Grand Slam Australia, which is one of the things you want these kinds of shows to do, is to build the hype for the pay-per-view, right? And it did that while also being a really interesting show in its own right. Um, but that has been our coverage of AEW Dynamite. And I want to thank everybody who joined us for this episode. And I invite you all back to join us for our next coverage, which should be AEW Collision. Until then, I don't think there's much for me to do but roll the outro.
Bye, guys. Hey, thanks for tuning into this episode of Top Tier Wrestling. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the latest wrestling news and shows. You can find us on all major podcast platforms as well as our YouTube channel where we upload all of our episodes. You could also follow us on Instagram and X for updates and to join the conversation. Until next time, everyone, remember, wrestling is always better when it's top tier.